Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the liberal loudmouth here with,
The real Ron Ron's always where Tim's at.
yeah, buddy. So it's Sunday gospel.
I
It's
love
Sunday
Sunday
gospel.
gospel. I've been looking. I look forward to Sunday gospel every week,
Man,
dude. I love talking to you.
did you get your Bible ready?
I have not. I've not got my Bible, Tim. But
Man,
with Christ, all things are possible.
I was going to ask you that today. You stole my thunder,
I'm
Ron.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Damn. I think, including bankruptcy, I think. What do you
I
think?
think. I think. I think. With Christ, all things are possible. If I wanted to go out and kill people and drink all day and do drugs, with Christ, all things are possible. Or if you believe in Allah or Buddha or Jeff or whoever you believe in, all things are possible.
In the name of Jesus, praise Jesus, hallelujah. Right?
Hallelujah, old
All that good
rugged
stuff.
cross. I love that song, dude.
So you had several things you wanted to talk about. Why don't you
Uh,
go ahead and start Sunday Gospel off? We'll get some of this stuff
okay.
out of the way.
All right. First off, the most important priority for me right now is I want to wish somebody a very special birthday.
Oh
She's
shit!
like she's like 33 years old. I've talked about her before on the show. She's Smoke Show. Mandy, if you're listening, can't wait to come see you next weekend, and we're going to celebrate in person. But I wish you a very happy birthday, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. And Tim, I know that you've actually talked to her on the phone. But thanks for being a part of my life, and that's all I got to say about that. The next thing I want to get to is, man, these school shootings and these bomb threats, dude.
Crazy, crazy.
Everybody's they're just it's I don't know. It's the bomb threats I think are fabricated, and people are sensationalizing them. So more of them are happening. If we just shut the fuck up about them and just went on
Yeah,
and let the authorities take care of it, it would go away.
it's so bad. Like, what was that? 3 days in a row?
4 days in a row.
Was it four in a row? Oh
Four
my
in a row.
god! Whoever the asshole is that's doing that, like, what? Go get a damn job. How about that? Why don't you
How about,
go
yeah,
find something constructive to do with your life? But I will say it's irritating to watch it become politicized in a large way. People are blaming it on Ryan and Kevin Stitt, and I I have a hard time doing that because the person responsible is the one sending those friggin' emails. That's the
right.
person responsible. I
Well, here the left, and I say the left, it's the folks on the left that are saying if Ryan and Kevin Stitt wouldn't be spitting this hateful rhetoric about the woke left mob and disturbing our children and disturbing our teachers, that people wouldn't get all amped up. Well, people have to have self accountability. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean I get to go out and call fire in a fucking movie theater or call in a bomb threat. we
right.
we have to blame the people that are doing the actions.
Yeah, because I mean it's already illegal to do that. So
Right.
I don't see how one correlates to the other in any way, other than the fact that people are generally negative and feeling kind of hopeless. Um,
That's a
oh
good description. That's probably how people are feeling right now.
yeah, and it's like, why the hell not? Ron and I were slaying this morning. What were you
Uh,
slaying? Are you
we yeah
slaying
we
dragons?
Man, people were coming at me. Not people. John B. And I'm pretty sure I know who John B. is on Twitter. They have a transgender child. I think that we've both spoke at the Wassel school board meetings about the bathroom policy and stuff like that. Um, and this person just keeps saying that I'm calling for violence against transgender kids in schools, and that's the reason I wasn't employable, and this I'm just I don't want trans kids to exist, and just spitting this hateful shit that everybody who knows me knows that I've had trans kids over for dinner, and I love everybody, and I just there has to be a separation. We've talked about this before. The bathroom policy is an easy fix. You and Christy actually, when she was running for school board, had a wonderful idea. Just put stalls, ceiling to floor
Yep,
for everybody. Just be done
right,
with it.
including urinals.
Yeah, and this John B. kick character on Twitter is like, my kid is a girl. No, your kid's not. Your kid is a boy. He's a physical boy that wants to be a girl, and that's fine. Live his best life. That's fine. I love him for doing that, or her, or whatever I'm supposed to call her. But just because you believe you're a dolphin doesn't mean that I'm going to call you Flipper. I'm not obligated to do that.
You should have followed that up with the noise, Ron.
So
yeah, I mean, I largely agree with you, and I think both of us agree that like you do whatever it is you want to do. As long as it's not affecting my life, I don't really care what you do. You know, so to me, the trans stuff it really boils down to, I think, a matter of semantics, where they just want this word to mean what they want it to mean, and to me, it means, you know, something that I've always thought it to mean, which is, you know, boys have penises, girls have vaginas.
right. And what it is we have a handful. I mean, it's just a small minority of people that are trans. But to me, when you say, well, just make bathrooms for individuals all across the board. Well, no, my trans kid wants to be a boy and wants to walk in and pee like a boy. I don't give it. No, those feelings don't matter. You have thousands of other children that want to pee or shit or change their tampon by themselves in privacy.
Well, boys can change tampons too, Ron.
I've changed tampons, Tim, but I'm not on myself.
Oh, no. They can change their own tampon.
Whatever.
But in this instance, the tampon is actually the thing that keeps the hole from closing.
See, yeah. But anyway,
we started going off the rails early, Ron.
Sunday gospel. It gets there quick. But yeah, Lane has been getting shit on, and a lot of people don't know this about Lane. He is a minor, and not just a minor on an island somewhere. Hey, Sandy. I'm glad we're making you.
I was just about to
smile.
put her comment on there. What's up, Sandy? Thanks
Glad
for
to
showing
make you
up.
smile.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. But back to the school bombing threats or whatever.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I mean, I can kind of get why they want to couple the two things together, but I can't go down that road. I just can't do it.
Right.
It just doesn't seem, I don't know. The two don't correlate for me.
Well, and it's not gaining any headway. There's no traction there, for one. It's just a distraction from the real shit that needs to be taken care of.
Right. Yeah. Oh, she said hi back.
Oh, I love Sandy.
What's up, David?
David Crow. Hey, if y'all don't know David Crow, and I want to talk about some Jinx shit here in just a little bit. Also, not to say where David lives, but I just doxed David.
Oops.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I want to talk about some Jinx stuff though.
It's funny when you said that about doxing him. I thought when I put it up on the screen, I was like, oh shit, he may not want his comment up there with his name because that's his full name. But
yeah,
you know, if you come on our show, we're probably going to put your comment up there. Like there's like almost 100% chance that it'll happen. So.
Oh yeah, you're going to get herpes if you come on here.
If you don't want it on the screen, please preface your message with, "I don't want this on the screen."
Yeah, please don't let anybody know that. Please don't let anybody know that we watch y'all. Yeah, say that.
Right, because we do have people watching us. Oh, he said, okay, all right. He said,
oh,
it's
and
okay.
he is. Yeah, he is world famous.
World famous these days. It's all good. Yes, sir. Good shit, man.
We need to get Matt on here too, but the school shootings, the bombings and the school shootings. Booker T had a kid jumped a fence, gun fell out of his pants, gun went off. This is the second year.
The gun went off.
Yeah, the gun discharged, didn't hurt anybody, but this second year in a row we've had a similar thing at Booker T in Tulsa. Not to say that it's I've been talking to parents and it's become a normalcy for kids. Parents are freaked out.
Guns and knives and shit.
But the kids are like, oh, we got an active shooter drill today at 3:00. And
like, I wonder how many of those kids bring that for clout versus bringing it to protect themselves should somebody start shooting in the school, you know. I wonder if that's a thing.
I
where
don't
kids
know.
come armed to school because they're afraid, you know. Oh wow, this is my stomping grounds. Kid brought a gun to the game in Locust Grove, of all places, too. Yeah, I actually went to high school. That's where I graduated, Locust Grove.
Yeah, and this for everybody that doesn't know, this is a little bitty town.
A little bitty town. Yeah, it was teeny tiny. My graduating class was like 40, I think.
Yeah.
35, 40, maybe 50. That's wild though. And then those three people got shot. Did they ever figure out why or like what happened?
I haven't heard a
At
motive
Choctaw?
or no, I haven't heard a motive or anything. Mandy was actually talking about it to me because she lives up around that area, Dell City, Choctaw, and good job for law enforcement keeping everybody as safe as possible. But that was just seeing those kids and the faculty and the football players just run scared.
Oh yeah,
it just
it's God.
they see it all over the news and all over the internets and all over social media. So it becomes sensationalized and people are getting famous. And it's like Billy the Kid syndrome to me.
Yeah, and if people haven't seen the video, I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It's you don't see anything graphic. You just kind of see the chaos that ensues when the shots
fear.
are fired. So let me pull that up here and we'll go ahead and play it.
What is going on?
That's the exact moment shots were fired at the Friday night football game between
God.
Choctaw and Dell City High School. Choctaw police confirmed 4 people were shot, including a student. Dell City officials confirmed an officer of theirs was involved.
Everybody's down, everybody's off the field.
We always have security at our games. I know I had 5 officers here. Chief Berger had at least two.
At least two.
Chief
maybe
Berger
three.
had.
And that's just normal. That's just routine that we have for the safety and security.
Police say they interviewed band students in the stands Friday night to possibly find out more on the shooting.
We want to process the scene as
Band
quickly
students
and
were
thoroughly
involved?
as possible. We want to
Wow.
bring the people in that are responsible for this.
Well, I know
Now,
one
the
of them
search for
was
more
a student,
answers
the one that
continues.
died, right?
Anybody that knows
Yeah.
anything,
One of the ones that
contact
died.
Oklahoma County Dispatch with their name and contact information.
That's wild, man. And this is in Oklahoma, by the way, if you're watching from Minnesota or Michigan.
Let me say this. Play the video just like the first 20 seconds again, because I can show you a sumbitch right now that's ready to go see Jesus. Look at the referee in the middle of the field when everybody takes off.
Let's see.
Everybody
This guy?
starts running. Yeah, that guy.
What is
Everybody
going on?
starts running.
That's the exact moment
He
just
shots
stands
were
there.
fired at the Friday night football
Come at
game
me, bro.
between Choctaw and Dell
He's right with Jesus right now. I know that for sure.
Anything is possible with Jesus, Ron.
It is.
You heard it here first, y'all, on Sunday Gospel.
Who was that lady that was following us from Minnesota?
Rachel Brandt, I think.
Rachel Brandt. Okay, all right.
My daughter is dancing at a high school football game in Owasso Friday night with Palm Squad, and it makes me sick. Yeah, it is crazy that we have to deal with this crap. It's gotten out of hand. I mean, and what the solution to it is, I mean, there are, I will say, too many guns in this country. There's just too many damn guns. That we have more guns, which is both a good and a bad thing. Because try and invade our country. Come at me, bro. See what happens. But
that's why the Japanese didn't try to invade the mainland. He said, if you go over there and try to invade the mainland, they have more guns than they have blades of grass.
Yeah, it's so on one side it's a good thing, but then you have people who can gain access to guns pretty easily. Like, it's easier to get guns than it is drugs.
And that is, I don't think that's going to change. And I agree with you that there are too many guns, they're too accessible, but there's no way to change that.
No. So, and I think maybe the issue then boils down to the state of minds of the people.
Right.
Where shit's going downhill, hopelessness ensues. You got rampant poverty. Like I was driving through, this is literally within a block or two of the capital in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. It is a fucking shithole. And
The capital is?
Oh, yes. Yeah, like even the State Street, when you go down State Street to get to the Capitol, like the Capitol building of Jackson, it's so bad. It's just everything is dilapidated. So, this is a problem that we're seeing. It looks like a third world country in Jackson. It really does.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. I saw a house for sale in Jackson for $4,000.
Wow.
$4,000. Yeah, and David, right here, the water system in Jackson is ruined. Yeah, he's right.
By what?
And I can't remember exactly what caused it, but you can't drink it. I don't even think they can boil the shit away. It's, I think, chemicals and shit that's been spilled or something.
And this speaks back to what I said. Things become normal when you allow them to be normalized.
Right. And it's weird because here in Mississippi, everybody is so nice, Ron. Like, everybody is. We're talking, these people got raggedy ass clothes on, looking like they just got out of their cardboard box from under the bridge. Like, hey, how you doing? Smile on their face. Praise Jesus. I mean, it's like that. And this is an extremely religious state. So I have to wonder, like, do some people use Jesus as a way to or religion to forget how shitty things are? To
I
where
don't think.
You know what I mean? Like I've
know
got
exactly
nothing else
what
in my life.
I know, but I've always got God.
Right. And it's like, and even when I die, I'm going to go to heaven, and, which takes away some motivation for people
Right.
to fix things.
Right. If you just do what you're told according to scriptures, then you get to go to heaven, and it's going to be beautiful, and everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. I mean,
And that takes away from your life here, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure that doesn't have anything like major to do with this, but it might, because if you look up the religiosity of states, what you'll find, and with few exceptions, the more religious a state is, the poorer that state is. And the least religious states are not as poor.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's facts. That's facts. Yeah,
It's the same for countries. The most religious countries are the poorest.
and I'll add to this. It's not about religion, but the most incarcerated states are the reddest states.
This is true. Maybe that goes back to like the broken windows theory, where, if you just go whole hog on every little infraction of the law, where you start throwing people in prison for jaywalking and shit, that they're least likely gonna, or they're less likely to commit bigger crimes because they're all gonna
Right.
be locked up. But then that has like a watershed effect where some dude goes to jail for something petty or drug charge, or he took a freaking loaf of bread or something from the store, and he ends up in jail for a year because he doesn't have the money to bail himself out. If he had a family and kids, well, now he's not there. So then what happens to the family? Well, now they're struggling. They get on welfare, and the mom, maybe turns to drugs. The kids then don't have anybody to watch over them. They don't have that male role model to because the male voice is scarier than a female voice.
Right, and then it becomes systemic. It does. It really does.
Yeah. Here we go. What Ron said, a lot of people care more about life after death than the life they're living here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I don't know,
Which
man.
just it boggles my mind when people do that. I don't. Yeah, God,
And-
I hope there's a life after death, but I'm not going to not live my life right now.
Right. And I don't buy into that anyway. I think humans just they don't want to die. They don't like to think about death. So the thought of eternal life is, it's wonderful. So maybe you can stay happier among all the crap if you feel like you're gonna live forever.
What do you think about the? I don't want to attack the liberals because you're a liberal, but what do you think about the liberals going after Alina Ashley because of $18,000 in PAC money? That we know that everybody that's a politician gets PAC money. Hell, I got PAC money, but there's a difference. People don't understand that PAC money, you can't talk to the PAC. You have no control over the PAC.
Right. Well, and that's the difference. So as far and what Ron's referring to is Alina Ashley. For those who aren't familiar with this, Alina Ashley, she ran for the Tulsa school board election, and I guess now that they're going after this PAC for the $18,000 of direct mailers that they had mailed basically on her behalf, but not in coordination with. But because of Citizens United, PACs and corporations can essentially blow as much money as they want to on, I say on elections because, it's political ads and such, as long as they aren't feeding that money directly into the campaign. So, like, if they wanted to put an ad that wasn't coordinated with the campaign, they could spend an unlimited amount of money on that. But if you wanted to donate money to a candidate directly to their campaign, that's capped.
Right.
So in this instance, I don't think the issue has anything to do with Alina Ashley because it has to be separated. But
they're blasting Alina Ashley's picture out everywhere, and they're like, nobody knows where the money is. It's giving the assumption that Miss Ashley did something ill-intended with money.
Right. Which, is unfortunate if somebody does something wrong in your name.
Right.
You're going to be lumped into that no matter who you are or what party you are, simply because it was your campaign that they were doing things for.
Oh, don't I know that from experience? I had old ladies fucking screaming at me.
Yeah, you did. Because I guess somebody, I don't know who it was, but they'd put out direct mailers. I wasn't a direct mailer?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And text messages.
And they were all like really shitty about his opponent.
Horrible shit.
And people were saying that Ron was putting those out, but Ron didn't have anything to do with that. So, it's a matter of you getting the blame for something some jackhole does.
Right.
Totally unrelated. So, on one hand, I understand why Alina Ashley's picture is in the news articles because it was related to her campaign or actions taken during her campaign. But at the same time, when it comes to like the pundits coming out, oh, look what Alina Ashley did. No, she didn't actually do it. It was somebody else that did it. Which, in my mind, the problem, and I pointed this out to somebody that had posted about it, I'm like, look, the problem here is that in the second largest city in Oklahoma,
Speak the gospel truth.
Less than 1,000 people that voted, and she won by 126 votes.
You're talking about the largest school district in the state of Oklahoma.
Yes, less than 1,000 people. That's and a political action committee spent $18,000 for less than 1,000 votes. That doesn't make any sense. Does that make any sense to you, Ron?
It makes sense to me that these special interest groups,
that's what it is.
Like Ryan Walters' private school people and the teachers' unions and these LGBTQ people, these special interests that want their interests spoken for. What's up, Bubba?
And I'll point out, this is both sides do this. You've got the Koch brothers on one side, you've got Kaiser on the other side, you've got the Waltons on one side, you've got, insert name of group over here.
Sorry, y'all. I got my boy. He's like, I'm hungry.
But then every time somebody does this, it's, oh my God, look what the other side is doing.
Right, exactly.
Like, oh, look at that. They're paid for by the Koch brothers. Like, yeah, okay. And half of those other candidates are paid for by, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Right. The Waltons, we could go, there's a list.
Right. It's pretty stupid, but in terms of her campaign, no, I don't think that she would intentionally do anything wrong. And when my wife ran for election, I got to say, we didn't even do much, because right when we started running was when she got that offer for the job to come out here to Mississippi. So we didn't spend any of the campaign money that was contributed. We didn't ask for any more money, because we were like, well, if we're leaving, I don't want people to donate money. But in that time, we had to read through all these rules and rate. It's all convoluted. It's all a big mess. So
yeah, you'd have to be like a CPA to even figure out how to report that shit.
Right. And you never feel like you completely understand and know for a fact that what you're doing is correct. So, somebody getting into campaign finance issues, unless they were like paying their mortgage with their campaign funds, I just kind of roll my eyes at, because it's all silly anyway.
Here's what I say about Alina Ashley, and I love Alina. I think she's a great American woman. I think that she genuinely wants to improve scores, proficiency scores in kids in Tulsa. I think she wants to genuinely improve Tulsa public schools. Her and Janetti Marshall, Jerry Griffin. I think they're trying, but what happens is when stories like this come out, because Alina is very religious, and she also wants to bring God back into schools and things like that, which I disagree with. But you have to find some type of middle ground to where it's like, hey, we got to take care of this problem first, and the other is a legislative thing or a Supreme Court thing that's already been handled. Let's just concentrate on the problem and fix the problem. But nobody wants to do that. They want to play this blame game. Oh, Alina said this, or Ryan said this, or Big Pimpin' Melissa Provenzano, that blocked me on social media, thank you very much, said this.
Speaking of Provenzano, somebody needs to sue her.
For what? Oh, for blocking? Yeah.
Yeah, for violating people's rights to speak to their elected representatives.
You can't do that. Logan Phillips did it. Nobody called him out.
I'm getting off track here, but we've gone to court over this already. They've told these people that you can't do that. You can't block people. You can't open it up to some people and not other people. If it is a designated public forum for legislative issues that you post about, you have to open that shit up to everybody, or you open it up to nobody. And so that it's not a designated public forum. But the moment that you allow people to comment on there, you have to open it up to everybody. But nobody is around to enforce it. So despite there being multiple cases that say this, they just continue to do it. And the only way to fix it is to take them back to court.
But they know that we don't have the resources to do that and stay in court all day long.
Right.
But I tell you, if you did it to one of them, just one of them, if you did it to just one person, the rest of them,
right.
I mean.
Yeah, and she's a liberal, by the way. I probably agree with her on a lot of issues, but I don't agree with her on that.
Does she have you blocked, or?
No, I ran across a post that she had made, and I couldn't comment, and I look in there, and other people had commented, and it's like she limits whoever. The only people that can comment are people who follow her or that she has mentioned. So I quote posted it. I'm like, somebody please sue this woman.
Yeah, because she's actually blocked me.
Yeah, no, she literally blocked Ron. I've seen the screenshot of it.
Yeah.
It's which you can't do that either. But do I have $5,000, $10,000 to throw down on an attorney for something like that? No. And that's what they're counting on. But anyway, I got off track. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the PAC $18,000. I don't think that's a big deal. I don't think it gains any traction, goes anywhere. I do want to talk about, I know you want to talk about dress code, but can we talk about the mugshot real quick?
Yeah, buddy.
Best mugshot. I wish I'd have done that in my mugshots.
It's a pretty good mugshot. Yeah.
You got a picture of it?
I'm about to pull it up.
I would never in a million years think that this man that we're fixing to pull a mugshot up is possibly going to be the next president.
And he did that on purpose. I bet he was like, all right, get me from the good side. All right, here we go. Bam.
Look at that.
That is hilarious.
That's the leader of the free world right there. I mean, I'm telling you.
Oh my God, that is the biggest con artist of the century.
I bet you he practiced that in his mirror the night before.
Oh, I bet you he did. I wonder, because most cops, I think, are in favor of Trump. So I wonder if the people that he took his mugshot allowed him to. Yeah. It's like, let me look at it.
Okay, let me take that one more time. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. It is weird though that for the first time in history, a president has been, booked in jail and then set free. If that had been you or I, though, we wouldn't have walked away. We'd have sat in jail for a little bit, until you can scrounge up the money.
I find it weird that he used a bail bondsman.
That dude is probably broke, man. He's probably broke because he's using a lot of the campaign funds or the whatever, because he keeps asking people for money and has been asking people for money since he left. He's been using the money from that to do it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if it's Trump versus Biden, I'm voting for Trump. I cannot vote for Biden, dude.
I don't think I can vote for Trump ever. The guy's I didn't vote for Hillary because she was a criminal. I ain't voting for Trump. Dude's a criminal. What he did violates everything in the Constitution. We just can't have that.
We need better candidates. We really do.
We do.
Because I think Biden is just as big a criminal as fucking Trump is, if you want to be honest. I think he's got China money in his bank account right now. Maybe.
He might. I know Trump has, so his kids had gotten money from, I don't know, another country while he was in there. I don't remember the specifics of the story. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Some business dealings or whatever. So it's not like the stuff that they're putting on to Hunter has not ever happened before, because Trump's kids basically did that, use their dad's name as a way to enrich themselves. And I as bad as it looks, I'm not going to hate on somebody for using their branded name for, to get stuff. Now in Biden's case, I haven't seen any solid proof that he was paid from like Burisma and all that. I haven't seen that. I've seen that they had phone calls, that he was on, 20 or so phone calls. Now the number 20 conference calls, that seems like there's probably fire there, where this dude wasn't just talking about fishing like he said he was.
Or the weather, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Who the hell goes on 20 different conference calls about the weather? Of course, the other side's argument is that Hunter was trying to give the impression that he was closer to his dad than he was. So I don't know. But
they're all orange juice, man.
They really are. They really are. Except only one of them's painted that way. So yeah, the mugshot, Donald Trump. That's pretty historic. That will be printed in history books from here forward.
He's actually got merch, I think, going out. Did you see that?
No, but I can imagine. I mean,
he did. He's got merch with that mugshot on T-shirts and hats and whatever, and he's selling it to help his campaign.
Dude, what we need to do is get your ankle bracelet.
Get my ankle bracelet
on a T-shirt. It'd be like, I don't always wear ankle bracelets, but when I do, That's good shit,
Oh,
man.
that is.
Speaking of ankle bracelet, how has the last week been?
Oh, Tim, my ankle's been making love to each other every night. I mean, just been taking all kinds of baths, been walking
Oh
into
man.
stores, and people are like, "Oh, he's so good looking," and
And
life is grand.
but
Life is just grand.
I bet you have the phantom auditory from call your officer. Call your officer. Does
Yeah.
that still give you nightmares?
It does bother me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. And the actually, and this is probably a phantom thing too, but I can still feel a little buzz on my ankle from the I don't know if it gave me like cancer or what, but it's just like every once in a while I'm like, do I have it on still? Because I can still feel it.
Man.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's kind of like when you go roller skating and then you stop and you're walking, you still
Right.
feel like
Yeah,
you're walking.
Where you've been on a cruise ship and all of a sudden you're still
Right.
swaying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
But no, it's been wonderful since I got it off, and I appreciate everybody's support on that.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
So what's up with the dress code, dude?
Let me pull this picture up real quick so that everybody can see what we're talking about. 1 second. I've got to go to my profile. I should have had all this shit ready to go, but it was kind of a last minute deal for us again.
We always
about
do last
that.
minute shit, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll get to those other pictures in a minute related to the dress code. Where the hell is it at? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to pull this picture up right here. Okay. Now, I've got to share that first, and then I can put it up. Yeah, sorry guys, we're not super big time yet. We've actually got to do all this shit ourselves.
We don't have
So
that
right
pack
there.
money.
Okay, so in this picture, you see a child with leggings, a shirt, and a jacket. And she got a dress code violation. Now, they gave her a warning because we're new around here. But do you see anything wrong with that outfit, Ron?
No, you showed this, you posted this, and I was looking at the designs on the leggings. It never crossed my mind about the leggings.
Right. And that, now I know Owasso has a no leggings policy as well, like written into their book, but they've never enforced it. And the unfortunate side is that my daughter, she prefers leggings. When we go look for clothes, she gets leggings. 75% of her clothes, leggings.
I think most females these days prefer leggings.
Right. And I've never worn them, so I don't know how comfortable they are, but apparently they are because like most of the women I see are wearing something similar to it.
Right.
So I reached out to the school and I'm like, can you explain to me why it is that, that leggings are prohibited? And the responses were weird because they never actually answered so technically they answered the question, but they never answered the question. They were like, well, the intent of the policy isn't to prohibit the leggings. You just have to cover them up. So from hip to 3 inches above the knees or 4 inches above the knees, you have to put something over them. And to me, the purpose of that is to cover the female's butt. Now,
Right, that's it.
my daughter does not like showing her butt. She always has something over her butt, and even in that picture,
it's over her butt.
Her shirt goes down, and that's her own personal preference. She doesn't like showing her boobs either, so she always has like a big jacket or something on, which is it's whatever. I mean, she puts stuff on. So I'm like, this has to be an issue of shaming women, if you will. I mean, that's the terminology that people usually use, but where I'm certain that a dude wearing Wranglers with a camel toe isn't going to be given a dress code violation. Do you think?
No, I've seen this. I've seen the dudes with the Wranglers where you can read the word skull and he looks like he's got a roll of quarters down his leg.
Right. And I mean, you see it. It's Mississippi, so there's some cowboys out here. Denise asks, why are we talking about leggings today? because my daughter got a dress code violation about leggings, and they're prohibited from school.
Maybe I'm wrong. I think Denise is saying we've had leggings for so long. Why are we even? Maybe I don't know. Why is it relevant today in today's society?
Right.
Maybe I don't know. I don't want to speak to Denise.
Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't read it that way, but I see what you're saying, and you're probably right. But yeah, I mean that's a great question. Like, and I even brought that up. I'm like, look, it couldn't be professionalism because my wife is a director, and she wears leggings to work. So in a multi-million-dollar company. So and they're like, well, professionalism is different from one business to another. I'm like, well, so some businesses make people wear suits. You're going to make people wear suits?
Oh, I was wrong. Denise just got on. She was wondering why we were talking about leggings today. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's how I read it. Yeah. So my daughter, and I'll pull that picture up again, actually. This got my daughter a dress code violation because they're
public school
leggings at a school. So because I started asking these questions, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Give me a second. I gotta find it.
Bring Chucky up.
I got a notification that said you have a new friend request. So I go there and I look, and the person that sent me a friend request,
what's up, Lane,
was this dude right here. Boom. Now look at that. Assistant superintendent at Clinton Public Schools.
That's strange. He sought you out?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's. Do you think they've Googled my name, Ron?
Oh, absolutely. I'd take that bet 100 times over.
Yeah, right. So Lane and Denise both make comment have you? Oh, let's see. That's stupid. She's covered.
Wait,
yes.
I want to talk about this. She doesn't need to be covered. She needs to wear comfortable clothing that she chooses to wear, and we need to teach our gentlemen boys how to respond when women do that.
Right. You treat them as normal, because those kids are going to run across women that are like that out in the real world, and if they don't know how to react to it because they weren't allowed to see it in school around them, in social gatherings, they're going to be less likely to, respect what they're seeing. Let's see. Have you driven past the school and seen their asses hanging out? No, but I intend to have my daughter take a tally of all of the guys that she sees wearing tight-ass skinny jeans or Wranglers or what have you.
And this is going to be controversial too, but I've seen kids walking around with their jeans hanging off their ass, underwear, like halfway down their legs. Man, it's like, you can't say anything about that because that's a cultural thing. No, the fuck it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, it's just not.
And for the superintendent to argue, well, leggings aren't prohibited. And I'm like, well, yes, they are, because leggings are intended as outerwear. They're not undergarments. They're not stockings. They're pants. They're pants. So if you're saying that you can't wear them without something covering them, then yes, they're prohibited.
I disagree with constraining women to wear certain things because we can't control our manly urges to harass them.
Right.
That's a problem. That's a societal problem.
Right. Now, and I'm going to say, I wouldn't let my daughter out of the house with her ass hanging out.
Right. I know.
Wouldn't.
Right.
I just wouldn't do it. But this, to me, is so, silly. I think that it's dress code is in place for a reason. Right. And that's the question I'm trying to get at with them. Why? Why is that particular dress code there? What is the purpose? And I said, a rule that has no purpose shouldn't be a rule. If there's no reason for a rule to be in place and there's no logic behind the rule, then it shouldn't exist.
It reminds me of somebody saying, well, she wouldn't have got raped if she hadn't wore that.
Exactly. Yes, that is the exact same argument. But in this case, it's like, yeah, but those boys are going to be looking at him, and I'm like, okay. I mean, a lot of girls do that. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak to each girl individually, but I know my daughter doesn't wear those so that she's flaunting her, business everywhere. That's not why she wears them.
Pull up Lane's last comment. I'll tell you why she was dress coded. It's because they Googled her father.
I wonder. I don't think so. I think so. I think it came because if that was going to be the case, they would have actually given her detention, and it wouldn't have just been a warning.
Good Lord, everybody's coming on here late today. Y'all been in church or something? Shit.
Yeah. If dudes have no more control than that, they shouldn't be allowed out. I get it. Right.
Thank you, right. Denise. Thank you.
Which is what I said in my post on Facebook. I'm like, look, if your kids can't stop sexually assaulting girls, then why are they in school?
Right. And Manny knows it too.
Because of who their parents are.
I told you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But here's the thing. The teacher that's over her, one of the teachers that's over her, is the wife of the superintendent. So I bet that superintendent was like, Charles, hey, I need you to go and, look up this guy, Tim Ryan.
And
I think he might be a lawyer.
God, pull up Lane's last comment.
I actually wondered about this.
This is completely plausible. Absolutely.
Yeah. And what I was thinking this morning, I'm like, I'm probably going to give it a week, and then I'm going to do an open records request to Owasso and to Clinton and see if they've discussed anything.
Oh my gosh. Here's the thing. I don't know if y'all know Tim, but school boards and administration, they don't really like Tim.
No.
And you've been in Clinton for a few months. You've had a problem with the vax stuff, the exemption status,
which I fixed.
But you forced them to fix it. You made them look like idiots because they were already supposed to have had the information and knew what to do. And your kids started school late,
and they didn't. Right.
And they didn't. And now we're doing dress code shit. And now you're pushing back on them for dress code shit. And they're like, it seems like not that I'm not saying you're the problem, but you just want them to follow their own laws and policies. And that's all you're doing and all your daughter is doing because she is completely covered.
She is. And it's a principle matter to me. Like it's the principle of it. Like I can understand you not wanting girls running around or even boys with their ass hanging out. I get that. Like if it's skin or whatever, but she's covered. She's completely covered. Her leggings are even covered. So it's just weird to me that we're gonna, go back to the 1950s and be like, no, you can't be wearing that. And when you get on the horse, honey, you've got to put both legs on one side, okay?
And I know that this is going to be shitty and petty, but if a dude that thought that he was a girl wanted to wear leggings to school, they wouldn't dress code him.
That's funny. That's a good point. Oh, and I'll bring up that my daughter is actually inspiring kids here in Mississippi.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I know her, yeah.
So in the high school here in Clinton, there are 0 emo kids. There are no emo kids. And
that's not surprising.
And even she was surprised by it. They have people that run around and they just sit and they read their Bibles and stuff. These are, kids in school. And it's... So when she comes in dressed up, she's got these like fake nose rings or whatever, and she'll put on black, eyeliner and she, the whole emo goth thing. She gets that from her mom. Her mom was a goth. Anyway, she goes in there and people have started opening up to her and they're like, I want to dress like that. I just don't have the confidence to do it.
Oh, that gave me chills. That reminds me like Kevin Bacon in Footloose.
Yeah. And she's like, and one of the guys, it was a guy who'd wanted to wear a dress to school.
Yeah,
was talking to her, and I'm like, and she said, "Well, maybe start with wearing like a long shirt, and do that for a while, and then come in with the dress on." Because I got no problem with the dude wearing a dress at school.
I don't either. I don't either. The
If
only
he can
problem I
rock a
have-
dress, do it.
I mean, live your best life.
Right.
But you can't. Where I draw the line and where my boundary is you can't. If you're like, I wouldn't let a 11-year-old little girl come in and try to pee next to me with a urinal just because she thinks she's a grown dude.
Right. Well, in that person's case, I think it's just about the dress. So I
Right.
don't,
So just
I don't know that person. But and here's what I've told my daughter, and I've said this to her multiple times: when she dresses all goth and stuff, and especially coming into Mississippi, I had a long discussion about it. I was like, look, these people are not going to be like the people in Oklahoma. It's going to be a lot different. So I'm all about you wearing what you want to wear and dressing how you want to dress, but you better be ready when people start talking shit, because that's what people do. That's what kids are going to do. You're going to get some of that in your adult life, but it's less than when you're in school.
yeah, kids
So-
are the meanest, dude.
Right. So it's like, if you want to do it, but you can't let it bother you when people say shit. And
Right.
and that's just, you have to grow thick skin, in my opinion.
Well, and
in
that's
those
like
instances.
that's like you and I. We just come on here and say what we want to say and speak the truth and what we believe is the truth. But you can't. And I think this is why people love us and watch us and stuff, is because we can say shit that other people can't say because we've grown that thick skin. We're not bought and paid for. We don't care what other people think.
Right.
We just say what we believe.
Yeah.
And if, like you said, if you're going to go down that path, you got to know where that path goes.
Right. And you're going to get shit on, and it's not right. And I've said this here. I was like, look, it's not about right. It's not right that they do it. That's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. It is what it is.
Right. And it's, sure, we want to change that, and bullying is a problem that needs to be addressed always, but those things don't always get addressed, so you still have to deal with it. And I think a lot of people have gotten to the point where they say you are right for feeling bad for what they said, and they are wrong. And instead of me telling you, well, you're going to have to, have some thick skin to some degree, because there's nothing that you can do to force and control somebody else's behavior. Instead of doing that, they've just kind of gone down this, road of, you have to treat everybody nice always, and you can't, you know what I mean? Because
I know. Yeah.
that's not realistic.
It's not
never
real.
gonna-
It's not the real world. It's really not.
Right. So then those kids grow up and they've never had a moment of like conflict where their parents were like, buck up, buddy.
Right.
I mean, shit sucks. Life sucks. People suck.
Yeah.
And I wish we had more of that. You two keep it real. Yeah, we try to.
Oh,
We
David
certainly
Crow.
try
Let's
to.
talk about David Crow for a second.
Yes.
Let's not talk about him for a second, but
Cross.
Yeah,
Ashley.
Cross. Ashley Cross. Ashley Cross is a lady that I actually supported in the very beginning of her bid for school board election back in the day. This was several years ago, I believe. But then her opponent, who was the incumbent, which I guess is a good dude. I don't know him, but he was out door knocking for his campaign, and he ran across a house of some people, and their minor son, 15, 16, 7, he was a minor, answered the door, said, no, my mom and dad's not here. And then her opponent continued the conversation with this minor on the front porch, talking about this and that, and can I put a sign in your yard or whatever. And Mrs. Cross and all of her supporters just annihilated this dude on social media because he spoke to a kid that opened the door in Jinx.
That's crazy. Sounds like some Rhonda Voldemort Smith shit right there, when a kid comes knocking wanting to be involved. Like, nah, grow a couple of years.
You can't talk to a child in public view.
Right, right. Yeah, no, that's really shitty. What a weird thing. Now, is that the reason that you kind of were like, okay,
Yeah, there's certain things that I can get on board with, and there's certain things that I'm just not going to touch, and I'm not going to. There wasn't anything that I saw wrong with what he did.
right? It's like, well, he was the one that opened the door, and so I just started talking. I mean, damn.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. This was like a high school kid, and that race was bananas.
Yeah, let me put that up. Bananas.
And she
that
got
song was
smashed.
bananas.
Shit, that is a good song. I love Gwen. This Ashley Cross, is that her name? Ashley Cross?
I think so. Yeah,
I
think
backed
so.
out. I backed out pretty early, but she got smashed, annihilated. Like, I don't even know if she got double-digit votes.
Speaking to youth is bad. Some people.
I
I
mean,
got to
if
give a
you're-
shout out to our boy Todd. What is
Todd's
up, Todd?
on here. What's going on, Toddy
What's up,
Todd?
dude? Yeah, Hottie
How's the-
Toddy in the house.
How's the reptilians going?
So yeah, he said that's her. So I guess there were some issues with her campaign finances as well, like that she hadn't reported anything. I don't know anything about it, but one thing you learn pretty early on in a campaign is you have to report your income and your expenses. So at the very least, I know that.
Yeah, if it's over $1,000, if you go over $1,000 for any elected position in the state of Oklahoma, you have to report.
Yeah. So Lane's. I was going to wait until after we were done. Need to start spanking some butt. I wanted to speak to this just as a parent because what I found.
What is that
and
in reference to, though?
What we were talking about, getting thick skin. Is when that comment came. But I wanted to speak to the issue of spanking in general.
Okay.
Since it came up, I'm an advocate or a proponent of being allowed to spank as a parent, but I have found that not all children respond very well to spanking, and you could have 3 kids and only one of them responds well to spanking. And also, if the only thing you ever do to discipline your kid is immediately go to spanking, it loses all of its weight. The threat of spanking should be what is used until there's just absolutely no other reason. And when they get to a certain age, I found, or at least this is true with my kids, could be different with everybody else's, that the spanking just did nothing. And taking things away was the better option. So I spanked my kids very, very few times when they were young because I didn't really have to, because that, this meanie face me, with my resting dick face, I guess was enough to scare the shit out of them to the point where they just listened.
Hell, half the time your face scares me to do shit. But I agree with
Timmy
you completely.
Says totally agree.
I
Yeah.
agree. And my son, and I can whoop Barrett's ass all day long, and he'll sit there and just grin and smile.
Right.
But if I take his PlayStation away, he freaks out.
Right. That's where. And I bring that up because there are a lot of parents that I've seen that immediately spank. They just immediately spank, and to me that's not good. I don't think that works.
It depends on the crime. Like,
for sure.
Like
For sure.
Barrett was walking up the stairs the other day, and Barrett and Carly were fighting over the phone or whatever, and Barrett just turned around and Carly was 2 steps down, and he kicked her in the chest.
Wow.
That's an ass whooping. That's an ass whooping all day long.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that. No.
Yeah.
That you lost your PlayStation. That's an ass whooping. You're going to remember what you did.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, major things like that, absolutely. And the few times that I did spank, it was for like really bad things. It was generally for bad things. David says, I saw a guy last night at my neighborhood swimming pool call his 2 or 3 year old an a-hole in front of everyone. See, I don't do that either. I've never called my child a name except for in jest. If I say, quit acting like an asshole or whatever, I don't even know that I've ever said that to them.
2 or 3 years old, that's pretty bad. I wouldn't allow him. I'm like, hey, dude, I mean, what type of life decisions have you made here? When they get to be 8 or 9 and they become assholes, I will. Yeah, listen, you're being an asshole. Stop. But
Yeah.
I don't do it a lot. And we've gotten in trouble for this, so I want to be like tread lightly on this because we say cursey words around our kids, and that leads to pornography and horrible things in life. So,
remember that. Wow.
I don't want to go unwokeable on you, but it doesn't demoralize the nation if you talk to your kids real talk. But I will say, if my son comes up and hits me in the nuts, I'm like, you're an asshole for that.
Right.
But I will say that mine and Tim's kids are more loved than any other kids in the fucking planet. I promise you that.
Yeah, until they're gone, of course, once they're gone, I don't know, man, that'll be weird.
Bring up Lane's comment.
Having kids, but not having them around. What's this one? Spanked us when we did crazy stuff, but is that the one?
Yeah,
Lane. The threat was scary.
Blink twice if you were abused as a child.
That's funny. Yeah, I was abused as a child. The one good thing about my stepdad was I learned how not to parent. Like, I was like, well, everything he did, just do the exact fucking opposite, and you'll be good. This is funny. He gave you an eyeball emoji.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Oh, you're leaving? I can't hear you.
Just for a second, I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so an example of like parenting that I would do, like if we went into the store and my kid wouldn't just was going off the rails, just screaming and crying and whatever, the threat would be, if you don't stop, we will all leave. Or and if I was by myself, we would all leave. And if I was with Christy, I would take that child out to the car, and we would sit out in the car in the parking lot, with the car running, obviously. And that was the punishment. And I did that once with each of my kids, and they never did it again in the school, in a store. Well, they would start to, but you want to go sit out in the car? And then, no. And then, shh, they would be quiet. I say that because I see a lot of parents, they'll be in the store and the kid will start crying or whatever, and they'll just go to wailing on them like, wow, is that like you have nothing else that you can come up with to discipline your child? That's crazy. Denise says, I learned how not to parent from mine too. Yeah, it's you got to find the lessons where you can. Yeah, I was just telling everybody about how if my kids started going crazy in the store, I would take them out in the parking lot and sit in the car while Christy finished the shopping.
Right.
Did that once with each kid, and from then on, I would say, "Do you want to go sit out in the car?" And they would hush.
Right.
They would hush.
Or my go-to is, "Do we need to go to the bathroom?"
You go to the bathroom. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of different things that you can do. Spanking should be the absolute last resort for serious crimes.
Right.
I say crimes, but
sorry about having to take a little break there. My son sitting here in the room with me, he hopped up real quick and drug all the cords to his PlayStation, and it hit the ground, and he was distraught.
Oh no.
To go love on him and explain that this was made in China and it's very durable, and all you have to do is plug it back up and turn it back on. You're going to be fine.
Todd says if I had kids, they'd be flinging rattlesnakes at each other. I believe that.
I do too.
Todd loves his bugs and snakes. That's good stuff. What was that snake? Wasn't that a snake that he took a picture of the other day? Like, I don't know, a few months back.
Was it a snake or like a Komodo dragon or something?
Conservative rattlesnakes.
My conservative rattlesnake. That should be your handle, is conservative rattlesnake.
That's funny. The conservative viper.
That's right.
Well, we're past an hour, Ron. It doesn't feel like it. Did we miss anything?
No. I want to say rest in peace, Bob Barker.
Oh, man. That's
he
terrible.
didn't go over 100, and he won the showcase in the sky. So
Yeah.
what else I
Yeah,
got
that's-
down here?
That's crazy. But 99, God, can you imagine? Dude was born in what, like 1924 or something? 1923? Wow.
And I believe he was Cherokee Indian.
Man. I mean, he
He al-
lived a good life.
Yeah, he did a lot of great stuff. And get your pets spayed and neutered
Yeah.
in memory of Bob.
I bet you he is responsible for most people who realized we needed to get our pets spayed and neutered.
Yeah. And they always went after Bob because he chased after them models on the show. I'm like, Bob's a dude. I mean, come on now. What are you?
Man.
They didn't
Yeah.
cover their leggings. Shit. I mean, come on.
Oh, snap. And whenever I think of Bob Barker, it reminds me of Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore. Bob Barker, bitch. Whatever.
He was 80-year-old when he did that.
That was awesome. That was
Yeah.
awesome. You're seeing
he
a
did
side
some
of
great
Bob
stuff.
that you'd never see. Well, do you have anything else you want to touch on?
No, I want to say thanks for everybody coming on and watching us. And I'm ready for the Democrats to come out with their debate so we can commentate the debate of the Democrats.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to do that again with each debate.
Yes.
But if they have it on the same night, I don't know that they ever do that. But if they do, what should we do in that instance?
I think we should have a poll and let the viewers decide, or flip a coin, or some type of Spartan event where, this is Sparta, and I don't know. We'll have to figure that out, but
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I think the next one should be the Democratic thing.
Yeah, Biden will be he'll be all bunkered up.
Yeah, he won't be there. He'll pull a Trump.
He'll
No.
pull a Trump. Trump pulled a Biden is what Trump did.
Trump pulled a Biden. Now Biden's pulling Trump. They're all pulling each other.
God. They say they aren't having a debate. Oh my God.
This is what the Democrat liberals do, Tim.
And this is the DNC, the establishment Democrats, forcing their fucking candidate down everybody's throat. They don't
Right.
want RFK on that stage
No.
because he will destroy every other Democrat that runs. Period.
Who else
So-
is there? There's Biden. There's RFK.
I
that
don't
really
know.
left wing fucking theologian or whatever he is. The professor. Oh, I can't remember his name.
Cornell
The black-
West.
Cornell West. Yeah, the
Yeah.
black guy.
Yeah. I like Cornell West.
He's so far left though.
Kennedy's pissed about it. Yeah, I would be too. And they
if
pretty
I was
much
Kennedy, I would hold a town hall.
Yeah, and I think what we'll see after this election is that there was collusion between the Democratic National Committee and the news media.
Oh, this has Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders wrote all fucking over it.
Yeah, Kennedy didn't kill himself.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
He didn't Epstein himself.
Yeah, Jesus. Anyway, all right. Well, we will catch y'all next time. We'll do Sunday Gospel again, unless I'm working, because I'm doing an escape room.
Oh,
Doing
yeah, I
a
forgot to
game
mention that.
master.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a game master over in an escape room there. Like
Is that what
Biden
your
could
title
debate-
is?
What's that?
Your title is Game Master?
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean it's fun, and I only reached out because I'm like I need something fun to do because it's a lot of fun, running a game for people. If you haven't, I'll say it again, go to 11th Hour Enigma in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It is an experience that you've never had probably before in your life, and you'll want to do it again after you're done. I promise you. Do Winchester's Widow if you've never done an escape room before. Do Winchester's Widow.
We need to
Awesome.
reach out to them and work out a sponsorship or something.
The owner and I aren't on
Oh.
the best of terms,
Oh.
but the fact remains that is an exceptional escape room. What she and her husband created is just absolutely amazing. It really is.
That's surprising that you would give them credit for that, and y'all aren't on the best terms, because I would never in a million years say that Maria Seidler and Illegal Underwatch is a good law firm to go with.
Well, see, and even with that, and I've said this before, if Ken gets his Oklahoma license, and Maria, keeps hers, those two together would be a force to be reckoned with because he could speak and she could write. And I think they would do very well.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because Ken is a phenomenal speaker. I mean, he just is,
I don't like Maria. I don't like Maria Seidler.
Yeah, she doesn't like me either, but, we need somebody to go out there and actually take cases and see them through. That's all I can say.
The last thing I'm going to say on the show is send me a cease and desist letter, Maria. I don't like you. You did Tim so bad and so wrong.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I do agree. I do agree. Of course, her perspective is a little different. I think she was really upset. She felt like I was making her job harder, and I don't think that I was, but what a fun job. Yeah, it really is. It really is. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to get the hell out of the house and do something fun. So, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate what she did because she did, without her, it would have been harder to get unbanned. I'd probably still be banned. So.
Well, no, because the 6 months would have been over by now.
Yeah, what would the 6 months have been? That would have been what,
the start
4th?
Of school. Yeah,
March, April. Yeah. Either way, now Clinton, I guess they're like, hey, I know now we know how to get rid of that bitch.
You got your shirt that says maybe you should do something that says still
Owasso banned parent.
Still banned parent.
Owasso unbanned parent. Judge John Heil.
fucking bullshit.
Oh man, that's good stuff. All right, well, thank you for everybody to coming out, and we'll see you at least next week at some point, and we'll just keep looking out. We'll be around. Oh,
little row. This is my little row.
All right, we'll catch everybody on the flip side. Peace.